Hi folks, in this video I'm going to talk through a couple of the presets, a couple of the specials in the Groove Pizza, and what they can tell us more broadly about how rhythm works in African American vernacular pop forms. So I'm going over to the specials menu here, and I'm going to open up the Billie Jean preset. So this is the beat from Billie Jean by Michael Jackson. She told me her name was Billie Jean, and she caused to sing. Yeah, you get the idea. And this beat is a good starting point for programming on the Groove Pizza because it has a couple of features that are common to many popular styles in the African American vernacular tradition, which means pretty much all the pop styles. So here on beat one, you've got this kick drum. It's pretty much always going to be a kick on beat one. And you also have got snare drums on beats 2 and 4 on the back beats. And here I'm thinking of the 16 slices of the Groove Pizza as one bar of 4/4 time, and that each slice is a 16th note. So no matter what else is going on in your beat, you pretty much always want to have a kick on beat one and snares on 2 and 4. Billie Jean has also got a kick on beat 3, and it's got hi-hats on each of the 8th notes. So it's not the most exciting beat you've ever heard, but it sounds good, right? It sounds musical. And you can see, one nice thing about the circular representation is that you can see that, these kick drums kind of counterbalance the snare drums. It's got this simple geometric symmetry to it. All right, so I'm going to open up the next special on the list, and this is from a Herbie Hancock tune called Chameleon. And without even playing it, there's a lot you can tell just by looking at the circle here. It looks a lot like the Billie Jean beat, right? But everything is a little off. Like it looks like somebody took Billie Jean and just shook it, right? So this kick drum got knocked over here, and this snare drum got knocked a little early, and this hi-hat fell off. So let's listen to it. Yeah, cool, right? Yeah, it's very similar to Billie Jean. It's got a similar feeling, a little slower, but much hipper, right? And the reason for that has to do with your expectations that you've developed from a lifetime of listening to rock, funk, hip hop, R&B, many other kinds of pop music that all share kind of similar rhythmic characteristics. So you're expecting snare drums on the backbeats, and the fact that this one is a little bit early every time. Oh, oh, it's early. Wait, why is it so early every time? Also, the expectation of a kick drum down here is not quite as strong, but it's still pretty strong. And so the fact that it's displaced a little bit adds to this sense of you being off balance. And also, when you hear hi-hats on all the eighth notes but one, it makes your brain wonder, well, how come there's no eighth note there? How come there's no hi-hat there? And the combination of this early snare drum and this missing hi-hat in this first quarter of the beat really generates a lot of tension, right? And this whole rest of the 3/4 of it, from slice 5 all the way through to the end is pretty conventional, but man, that first little wedge here, yeah, it's a surprise every time. Chameleon is a really long track. I think it's like 13 or 14 minutes or something like that on the Headhunters album. And it really does not get boring over all of that time. And a lot of that has to do with the way that the beat plays with your sense of expectation. There's another aspect to the Chameleon beat that the Billie Jean beat doesn't have, which is it's got some light 16th note swing. And that is something I'm going to explain in another video. But if you look at Billie Jean, the swing setting here is 0. Chameleon, the swing is set to 30. And if I take the swing out of Chameleon, it's still cool, but a little stiff. Doesn't have quite so much life. Put the swing back in it. Yeah, there we go. Now it's got that laid back groove.